in Disney for September 19th to September 25th.
Wow.
Yes.
A lot of syllables in there. You got them all out.
Well into September now.
Yeah. You'll have to say September one more time.
Yeah.
Week,
well, it's just going quickly along, plummeting toward Halloween.
Plummeting? Well, you know what?
Bit.
That's a good word.
Yes,
that's a good word.
definitely.
But awesome. Awesome. I think, full disclosure, the best week in Disney this last week that I've had for a year and a half. And it really like kicked off with D23. Last Sunday night, watching the panel, you know, I don't know. A lot of expectations out there, a lot of questions out there. I have a lot of anticipation. A lot of anticipation. I love the art. I love the vision. I love the presentation. I love Josh being like fully back in form, like looking healthy and energetic, like meaning of spirit, like, and just really felt heard.
So you're really, I mean, you love art. You're driven by art, and so having like all these concepts of art really are it for you.
Yeah.
But like there aren't necessarily dates or exact,
no direction.
Like direction. And so a lot of people do require that.
Of course. Yeah.
So I think I can understand how there may be some concerns there, but
valid. But for myself, it's like when you look at like the Galaxy Edge concept art, when you look at the concept art for like Tower of Terror Guardians overlay, when you think of the success of Cosmic Rewind, I was speaking about in California and here, like everything we see artistically gets delivered.
Mostly. I mean, I know that we've talked about here stuff on This Week in Disney, like concept art that didn't, happen. It is, it's tricky, like when there's not exact dates and you don't know for sure that's gonna come to pass. But
so the details are great, and I understand the expectations for details. I'm into the anticipation, and I needed anticipation. I needed dreams. I needed magic. I needed like a trajectory of like where we're going. Like all of our dreams have been fulfilled. A lot of the things that have been announced have been delivered. Everything's here except for a nice shell on the Star Cruiser. For like, I was thinking it was gonna be a shiny ship in the parking lot.
Well, I am looking forward to getting Tron getting on that ride. And
spring announced official date.
They are riding it already.
Yeah.
So we know we're going to get to ride it.
We saw them riding it.
And then I'm looking forward to some like a Figment in the...
Figment coming to Epcot?
Yeah, that's...
I mean, is that
getting to have a meet and greet with Figment.
Come on!
That's very, very exciting.
Yes.
And wonderful.
Thank you for bringing that. I mean, that was really the announcement of the whole time.
I think they learned with the Figment popcorn bucket how much we would love to hang out with.
Yeah. So just fully...
Get our picture with Figment.
I feel totally renewed.
That's a line I would wait in for sure.
I see a new age ahead, a new era ahead. So excited. Lots to dream about.
Yeah, and then we had a great week. Celebrating and enjoying.
Birthday.
Yeah, we enjoyed the Riviera for the first time.
It was awesome.
It's a great resort. Really, really convenient resort. There's just a lot of thought, a lot of like modern anonymity. Anonymity.
It's not art of animation.
Amenities. Like, for instance, of course they have like the outlets in the room and the little plugs and everything all over the place now. And lots of
updates to the TV system.
Yeah,
they saw it in the resorts previous.
At the Polynesian, but yes, so you can what is it?
Name greeting. Well, it's not just that, it's name greeting. It's new menu systems. You can actually like see the menu of like what's on the channels, and you can Chromecast like and Apple AirPlay directly.
Directly from your phone, which we did enjoy and tried it out. Totally works. And so also
the TV is very functional
like
now.
It has like your name on it.
Right on it. Welcome.
When you come
family. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was
awesome. So that's really sweet.
Yeah.
And all the old things that you loved before. It's all there.
Yeah, it's just easier to get to. You're not like hitting in the dark or memorizing like channels in your head.
But even there's a steamer in the room, which I think is great. Like a lot of people use, and it's nice and convenient, like a steamer instead of an iron.
And the studio rooms at the Riviera don't have paper products. They have porcelain and ceramic. So, and metal utensils.
Yeah, in the studio.
In the studio.
Right, because you usually get that in the kitchen with the other resorts too, or the bigger rooms.
Right, but
yeah.
in some of the other resorts, they give you
just paper.
Just paper. So that was really cool as well.
Yeah, it was awesome. But we had a great time. We enjoyed the resort, enjoyed the pool and everything. But we also went over to Hollywood Studios.
We did.
And
her
had a great
birthday,
night.
as you guys already know.
We went
Brown
to the
Derby.
Brown Derby.
It was awesome.
Well, maybe you don't know, but we're on Instagram, so you can check out some of those pictures and things as well. We had a great waiter at the Brown Derby who just made it a wonderful time.
Matthew, thank you. He mixed up a custom pomegranate lemonade. You know, I'm always looking for those pomegranate lemonades. Used to be on the menu, the Minute Maid. It does exist out there. Minute Maid does still supply it, but Disney just doesn't. But they will mix them up, like custom for you on occasion. And Matthew offered at the Brown Derby.
It was cool. So great meal, great time, some new things on
Another
the menu.
Cosmic Rewind on Saturday.
Yes.
We headed
out. So it was just a wonderful trip. Oh, and I rode Tower of Terror, of course, on my birthday.
Yes. Yes.
Which makes lots of sense because I love it.
Right. Oh, well, that was essential.
And it was a 13-minute wait, so by the time we went over there,
13 was out.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Yes. Thank you, Riviera. And thank you, Brown Derby.
Yeah.
Great. But that was historic. That was awesome. That was that week in Disney. Let's get on to this week.
Yes, definitely.
All these dates that have
we'll go back.
Built the dream we just enjoyed.
Well, starting off with September 19th, 1904, character actress and voiceover performer Elvia Allman is born in North Carolina, which is amazing.
Yes.
She's so cool, and you will know her really well from her voice acting. She was, the creation of Clarabelle the Cow.
There we go.
Yes.
Our girl. She's coming. Nobody at Christmas other than the dancing reindeer.
Yeah.
Take the stage. She's in the parade with her kitchen. She's always working and engaging. Sweet treats. Yeah,
so Elvia was born in Enochville, North Carolina. And she actually started out her career, of course, because she was born in 1904. She started in radio. So she's one of those people who, again, was able to transfer through all the different technologies from starting out in radio and then moving on. She did children's stories, read children's stories at first on radio, but then worked her way up to working with Bob Hope. So, she was well known.
Her voice is, if you don't know Clarabelle's voice, it's kind of like, I'm not going to make words, but
if you guys don't know who she is, go look her up online. Look up pictures of her, because I feel like they always put a little bit of a person into, the voice of the character into it. So she's not totally Clarabelle, but she is taller and thinner.
The voice is important to defining how the character is.
Yeah.
Because it's a passionate character, but it's a cow.
Yeah. But she also had she did the voice stuff, but she also had an acting career, and she was on all the shows that they back then that were the big deal. And it's interesting, a lot of the voice actors were did spots on all the same kind of shows, the Dick Van Dyke Show, and actually she was on the Addams Family.
And we do the same thing today. We really do. People get typecast into their roles, and then they get typecast right into the animation. I get it. Right,
but the Andy Griffith Show, there's just a certain group of shows that keep coming up over and over with voice actors. I think it was the family-friendly sort of group that had, obviously they could do the voice acting, but they also had these characters that were interesting. So anyway, she was on those shows, but you would know her from Petticoat Junction and Beverly Hillbillies. She had more of bigger roles. She was on I Love Lucy. So there's the one I Love Lucy where It's Lucy, and they're in the candy factory.
Okay. And Lucy's like eating them.
They're having to go faster and faster, and it's
Mm-hmm.
going so fast. Well, she plays the character Nancy, who's like kind of like telling them to go faster.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole thing is that particular scene is really, and she's well known from
Mm-hmm.
that scene.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can kind of connect that she's also the voice of Clarabelle Cow.
Love it.
And anyway, she was also in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
What?
She's the librarian there, and then
There
the
you go.
Nutty Professor. But then later in life,
The Nutty Professor, like Eddie Murphy, like in the.
no, not
okay.
that one.
Okay,
the first
okay.
one, of course.
Well, I didn't know
So-
how long she had lived. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the last time, her last performance was actually as Clarabelle
Okay.
for the 1990 Prince and the Pauper, which was the Mickey Mouse cartoon.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
So full circle there.
Wow. So that's a reason
Yeah.
to love that one.
Yeah,
And-
it
yeah.
is. It's
Yes.
so special.
Mhm.
And I think she's well known. You know her face if you go
Mhm.
out and kind of look her up, but
Mhm.
she's adorable.
Yeah.
And
Thank you, Clarabelle.
now we can remember her. And now when you hear Clarabelle's voice, you'll know who's behind it.
There you go.
Absolutely. Then moving on to September 20th, Disney's Donald Duck short Lighthouse Keeping is
Okay.
released. So Donald Duck is the lighthouse keeper, and he kind of plays a trick on a Marblehead pelican,
Yeah.
and then the pelican comes to mess with him,
Yeah.
and it's just the back and forth. But he's like shining, the light on the pelican, and then
Yeah.
the pelican doesn't like
The
it.
newest Disney destination for Disney Cruise Line.
Yeah.
They announced the Treasure,
Yeah.
which I really like that name. I think it's a good name. Really, really sets it apart from the other ships and very easy to remember. But the destination, which I can't remember the name of right now,
It's Lighthouse.
centers heavily on a
Right.
lighthouse. It's in the name. Yeah, that's why it's not coming to me. I'm like, oh, it's this lighthouse. It's the name. Yeah, but very cool.
No, it's more than that.
Okay.
It's more than just it's
Yeah.
Lighthouse.
It's just not coming to me.
I didn't
It's awesome
expect to talk
though. It
about
looks
it.
good. The way that the islands are like separated and it looks like you're gonna pass through and move from one.
Mhm.
What a destination.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Very exciting to have a new destination.
Yeah.
New
And Donald
Disney.
will of course be there.
Of course. he will.
History with lighthouses.
That would make sense.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. But this short is really funny, and you'll have to watch it because there's a beautiful sunrise at the end. And you'll have to see why. That makes sense. And then moving on to 2021. So just
There you
a
go.
bit ago.
Whoa.
Epcot launches its newest restaurant, Space 2020.
Space 2020.
Yes.
We had a great time there.
Well, yes.
For my parents' anniversary
Yes,
this last
we
year.
did go
Yeah.
and experience. And
It was awesome.
well, before we talk about that, I was just going to say on the opening day, it was really cool because they had the Patina restaurant group come with Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse in a ribbon cutting
Okay.
ceremony.
Oh,
So that
wonderful.
must have been really fun. So, if you don't know, Space 2020 is like right next to Mission Space,
Mhm.
literally,
Yeah.
and not that far from Test Track, Guardians, and all that. It is a really, really
It's got like a
cool
gold
restaurant.
brass top. Oh yeah.
You get to go and experience this, like you get to go into outer space. Like, yeah, so it's really, the elevator is so cool. Like, you get to actually go up into space.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Absolutely. Check out the video. We have the ascension and
The
descension.
descension.
We
have
loved it.
A couple of reels of it. It was
It
beautiful.
was one of the highlights of it was
Yeah.
the highlight of our year for a while.
Yeah,
Really,
it was really
awesome.
cool. And getting to celebrate your parents. And
Really.
I know they had such a special time.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
only last week was fulfilling enough to top it. Like, I mean, it was my parents' trip this year was wonderful. It was
Yeah.
very, very good.
And so you can get into it the day of, and I've noticed a lot
Okay.
of restaurants you can get in, like, depending on the time.
Yeah.
If you go
Don't give
over
up.
there, just ask, because we didn't actually
We're going
have
to
a
go for
reservation.
lunch. We did dinner.
Yeah,
we want to
wanna
check
go
out
for
lunch. So.
I think I've heard lunch is a little harder because
Okay.
it's less expensive,
Okay.
to be honest. But because the dinner's the preset
Mhm.
menu,
Yeah.
and then lunch is
And the
extra.
desserts are incredible.
Everything was incredible. I had the salmon. Wow, it came in a glass and they lifted it up and smoke came out.
Yeah.
It was amazing. The smell was so good that it was gonna taste phenomenal. Yeah. So definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, it is amazing too. I can't really remember bad experiences at Disney dining at all. I mean, it's a wonderful risk that you take because
you do have
it's pretty much a guarantee.
But we'll not go into it today. All right.
Really?
Moving on. We should move on.
All forgotten.
To September 21st, 1981. Gotta love the 80s, right? Mm-hmm. Actress Maria Ashley Eckstein is born in Louisville, Kentucky. Mm-hmm. Yes, she's so cool. I love Ashley Eckstein.
Well, and she's very, very good to all of us on both coasts and in the parks. Galaxy's Edge.
Absolutely.
Little clue.
Yeah, so you would know her well as the voice of Ahsoka Tano. Yes, which is why I put on my Star Wars shirt today. Because I think she's incredible as Ahsoka Tano. Mm-hmm. She does such a good job. But then, she's one of those true
Rebels. Clone Wars as well.
Well, we went to the lightsaber meetup, and she was the star that was there. Yeah. And she was amazing. She was so nice to everybody with taking pictures. Just a really down-to-earth person.
I think it's difficult.
Really wonderful.
I can't imagine that people really aren't 100% aware of. I mean, if you know her, she's great. I mean, she is one of the most.
She loves
If
Disney.
she isn't a Disney legend yet, she's well on her way.
She should be, because she started back, her first, I think it's one of her first job, or her first job was working at MGM Studios, because she grew up in Orlando.
There you go.
So she's just a Disney fan too, I think. I'm guessing.
And she shows it.
But
in
also,
brightness,
you may or may not know,
commitment.
She founded a fashion label called Her Universe, which is for fangirl, fan clothing and accessories and everything. Mm-hmm. So definitely check that out. Her Universe is in the parks as well. Yes. So she's just amazing. I have so much love for her. But her first theater thing that she actually was Helen Keller at age 12 in a theater production.
Nice.
A community theater thing. So I really love that because our children did the production of Helen Keller too. So it's such a sweet production.
University stage,
to do. So she did. She was with Disney and starred in shows like That's So Raven and so forth. But like I said before, she's Ahsoka Tano does, and we love her in that role. And she really goes to all the big conventions, and there's lots of videos online of her talking about her role. And anyway, so she did she was in the Clone Wars, and then Star Wars Rebels, and Star Wars Forces of Destiny. And then she has a short cameo in Star Wars The Rise of the Skywalker.
Short cameo.
Yeah, but the moment is just really cool.
Of course.
Of fans of Ahsoka Tano love that moment, and it's awesome. So anyway, she she got married to Major League Baseball player in 2006, David Eckstein, and they got married in Sanford, Florida, and then they had their reception at Disney World.
There we go.
Which just shows she's a huge Disney fan.
Of course.
I just love it. And I didn't have time to go look up, there's got to be wedding pictures out there from their reception at Disney, which lots of people are showing.
Well, 2006. Yeah, 2006.
That's pretty cool.
2 or 3 years before Instagram's popularity, and a year before, or the year Facebook went public. So the pictures may not be out there, but
yes. So,
meaning open to public, Facebook not traded, but not just reduced to workspaces and schools, but to all of our friendships and faces.
And so just in 2017, she and E.K. Johnston co-wrote the short story By Whatever Sun, which appeared in the 2017 Star Wars book From a Certain Point of View. So she's just expansive. She has this clothing line, Her Universe, and then doing the voice stuff. She does the acting, and then getting into writing books. So really incredible. Love Ashley Eckstein for sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. Glad that we got to actually see her, meet her.
And it certainly won't be the last time.
Definitely hope so. Yeah. And then moving on to September 23rd, 1955. I thought this would be so fun for you guys to look up if you haven't or don't have this already. The LP record Firehouse 5 plus 2 plays. Yep. Plays for Lovers is released on the Good Time Jazz label. So the group decided to come together and make all these like more like romantic love songs. Yes.
I think it's essential.
So some of the songs on there
Every lounge needs one.
What is this thing called love? I can't give you anything but love, and I love you truly. And so I love this quote by Lester Koning. I think we're making a valuable contribution to the subject. If Romeo and Juliet had heard this album, I feel sure their story would have had a different ending.
Get it.
That's great.
Get it.
I love it. I actually looked this up on YouTube, and it was on there, and you could probably find it on Spotify as well. But really, really cute, really fun album. I enjoyed it. And then moving on to September 24th, 2003, the University of Maryland honors Muppet creator Jim Henson. So they had a dedicatory celebration, and then a life-size statue of Henson, and of course Kermit he's actually conversing with him, is dedicated in front of the Adele Stamp Student Union on the College Park campus. Yes, so of course Jim Henson graduated from there in 1960. So they did this
partner statue of his own.
Commemoration statue. Yeah, I just thought it was sweet to see that. He definitely deserves his own statue. So
everywhere.
Really sweet. You can find pictures of that online and kind of hear the story of the artist and why that artist was picked and everything. So cool. And then moving on to September 25th, 1925, this Disney Alice comedy, Alice Chops the Suey, is released.
Wow.
This is like so funny. It's an Alice comedy, but they like are in Chinatown, and she gets abducted by Jin, and Julius the cat has to save her. So it's just really interesting. The animation, what they're doing with the animation here, they like have like the hand and ink in it, so they have like a human hand, but not cartoon drawn. But anyway, you'll have to go check it out. I thought they were trying some fun stuff.
And anyone that lives like near or in a Chinatown like knows that, I mean, these are the kind of mystery and wonders that like these establishments are built off of and thrive on our curiosity, of course. If it's not like, I mean, we used to live right next to Chinatown in Chicago, so it was, we used to often shop there and eat there, like just walk there.
Years and years later, when Miles was little, one time we went on a trip to go into the city and go to Chinatown, and there's like a taxi you can take, a water taxi you can take to Chinatown. So we told Miles that he was going on a boat to China.
Was he that little?
Yes, he was really little. It was so cute.
I don't recall that. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a fun day. Best food. Oh, love the food.
Miss it.
Yeah, for sure. And then last this week, one more cartoon. You gotta love them. I thought this was interesting. 1942, the Donald Duck cartoon, The Vanishing Private. I keep hearing you say pirate. I don't know why. The Vanishing Private. So this is like, you know, wartime soldier Donald, and he's supposed to be like painting this big cannon. He gets in trouble for not using camouflage, so he goes into like this secret.
Is this one where he multicolored paints a cannon?
He does it first, but then he goes into like this place where they're doing experimental stuff, and he gets like a can of vanishing paint, and he literally makes the cannon disappear. And so the soldier who's like the commanding officer over him is all befuzzled, thinks the cannon has disappeared, and getting super, super upset with Donald. You'll have to go watch and find out what happens to the commanding officer.
Donald at sea. You know, lighthouses and being a private.
Oh, this one's on land though.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a land one, so it's interesting. But you'll have to check it out. I think it's interesting. It's funny.
Of course.
Vanishing paint. I mean, it shows all the problems. If you had vanishing paint, like, well,
I believe around that time they had made an entire aircraft carrier like disappear. So I'm sure it was in the psyche.
They still haven't found it. No, I just.
No,
it's the problem with vanishing stuff. You lose it, right?
Ask Donald. He knows where the ship is.
He would know. He knows for sure. He would know.
It's not time travel. It's Donald.
Well, Donald himself in this particular, obviously, the paint gets on him. So that's kind of the shtick of that one. Yes, so go check it out. Go check it out. It's funny. But tell us what you guys think. Go watch these cartoons if you haven't seen them, or if you already know about all this stuff. Please leave comments below. We'd love to chat with you about the things that we shared. And thank you guys for following along with us. And we're so glad you're here. And we hope to see you guys next week. So we'll see you guys.
Sound promising? No.